It's your boy Tyrik Wynn. Listen, it's another episode of Tyrik Wynn Live. Y'all know I gotta get it going on the other devices. That's why I'll be looking down at the beginning. But hey, man, look, it's Tyrik Wynn Live. We have an amazing conversation for y'all tonight. Man, we are gonna be talking with Tinsley Bradford. She's gonna give us everything, all things dating, all things settle free. I mean, our conversation finna be lit and it's finna be popping. So hey, y'all want to make sure y'all stay tuned in the whole time, cause hey, we gonna be talking about all types of sorts of things. So I am waiting on her to come on in this room, and we finna get this conversation popping. We finna get this conversation started. We finna have a good discussion. So she is in the room. Let me see. I'm gonna need her to. Okay, yeah, she just put in her request, so I'm gonna bring her on in just a second. All right, here we go. All right.
Look, I was turning to the side. Hello, Tyrik. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I'm great. I was trying to get up my other screen up so people can know what handle I'm on.
I understand.
How are you doing?
Good. Well, what about you?
I'm doing great. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's what everybody calls hump day. Try to get over that hump and get whatever that crap is you haven't gotten done, get it done so you can get ready to go into your weekend.
I know that's right. Well, welcome to the show, Tyrik Wynn Live. I'm glad you're here. Third episode. You know, you one of the first guests.
Congratulations. Oh my God. You are literally really on the move. Hey, Miss_Tyrik, thank you for joining in. As you said you would, but yeah, you're definitely on the move. You're one of my favorite people. Like, I love watching you evolve. Oh, I do. I mean that from a genuine place. You are, like, you're just on the move doing great things. So we're so proud.
I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah. And actually, what we can do, go ahead now, is we can actually send a live to a few people. That would get some people tuned in on in here. So I'm going to go.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and send it. Come on, somebody.
Yeah, come on up in here. Yeah. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm acting like an old person.
I know, sometimes I do too. I do the same thing. I'd be like, that's why I went to my page. I was like, let me make sure I test it out. Then I said, wait a minute, I don't need to test this out. I just need to tell people to head on over there. Like
Absolutely.
Like acting slow and stuff, All right.
Here we go.
Yes. All right.
Okay, there we go.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, let's get this conversation going. Listen, I'm so glad you are here. First, I want you to start out by telling the viewers a little bit about you and what you do.
Hello, viewers. Hello, Kamardi. I love me some you. Hey, Daily Devotional Together. Thank y'all for sticking y'all heads in here. I'm Tinsley Bradford. I am two things. Well, I'm a lot of things, but your settle-free dating coach. I have also make sure I pronounce that really clear. Settle-free means you are free from settling for less than you deserve. And a lot of people don't know how to not do that. They settle in relationships. They settle in career choices. They settle in friendships. They settle with poor health. They settle in all kinds of things. So what I do is mostly talk about relationships and dating, but I talk about how I help people stop making poor dating decisions, stop making poor relationship decisions. And I'm also a journalist. So I do a whole lot of interviewing, features, and things like that. I've had an opportunity to grace some amazing platforms like BET Awards and Soul Train Music Awards and HLN and CNN. I'm saying that wrong. And what I mostly do is, like what I said, is I love to get the word out, but positive words, positive messages, real talk about things that everyday people in the community are facing or dealing with. And for the relationship and dating piece, I just want people to be in happy situations and make wiser and better choices so that they can live the life that they were deserving. Because if you think about it, Tyrik, the company you keep could make or break your future. We all know that. If you're around the wrong person or in the wrong relationship, it could make or break you. So I'm all about making sure I do all that. And I also got a really cute little book out called The Settle-Free Dating Method for Women. And it's a no-nonsense advice guide to remind you that you are more than enough. So make sure you go to Amazon to pick that up, you ladies who are interested in learning a little bit more about how to settle free like me.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. I heard you mention the CNN, the HLN, BET Awards, Soul Train. doing everything, tapping into
Yes.
love and everything. That's what I'm
I'm
talking
trying to be like you. I'm trying to keep up with you, Tyrik.
about. Yeah, man. You know, it's crazy. Like the field of journalism, it's crazy, especially now during COVID.
Yeah.
You had to navigate
Yeah.
so
It's
much.
very,
I
it's
mean,
a very broad place. Like anybody can do it. You just have to do it right, and you have to know how to capture the right topics, things that are interesting to people, and not go into overkill, of course. But just do your thing.
absolutely. I know that's
Yes.
right. Well, let's go ahead and get into this dating conversation. Hey, this is the primary reason I was like, I had to have you on so we could talk about this because dating, hey, dating is happening. Dating is happening every day, everywhere. So, we want to learn the tips, the tricks, what we need to say, what we need to do. We want to know all that good stuff. But before we get into the specifics and stuff, I wanna know, how did you decide that you wanted to be a dating coach?
Well, so for me, what I do, and I always like to put this out there for everybody to know, what I do pretty much has to do with my overall experience as a single mom, growing up, being raised by a single mom. I've had some, I guess you can say, horrific dating experiences that's not been so great. So what I like to do is take those bad experiences I've had and give advice to other women like myself who may or may not be experiencing something similar so that they can make decisions that's better. And I'm not saying that I'm ashamed or mad at the decisions I've made, but I do know I can make wiser choices when choosing my mate. So that's what I do. I use my poor dating decisions. So you know what? Instead of me walking around being some angry, bitter woman about my experiences and mad at every guy who comes my way and side-eyed everybody who comes my way, I said, take my information that I've gone through and my experiences and compile it into some cute little packaging to display it out to other women who may be dealing with some of these other issues that I deal with, and they are about to like jump into poor dating decisions or making bad decisions or currently in relationships that they need to try to rebuild or make stronger. So that's what I'm here for. I wanted to get into coaching, and I'm actually so excited to tell you all also, just for those who don't know, my Settle Free Academy recently launched last year in 2020 during the pandemic. So if you was to just go to, thank you, and it's doing good. Like I'm amazed at how many people are sitting at home right now, like purchasing it. Like people has been clicking on, and I'm happy to hear that. But
Right.
it's so easy to navigate. You just go click in the Settle Free Academy, and it's self-paced. It helps you to just kind of like evaluate yourself, your relationship status. Are you in the right one? Should you be dating? Should you even be considering dating right now? Is this something you know you need to be doing? Is he really into you? How do you know that he's into you? What signs are you looking for? So I get so passionate about it because I know how it feels to be in the wrong situation, because I've been in the wrong situation. I've been the one sitting there begging to be loved, hoping that he sees me, hoping that he approves me. Is this shirt I got on good enough? Does my body look good enough? Am I good enough? I asked myself that question so many times. So I said, now I want to go ahead and coach other ladies how to stop worrying about all that and pay attention to the science that's right in front of you to help you make the wiser choices.
Okay. All right. Absolutely. Yeah. And congratulations on the dating course and the
Yeah, thank
curriculum and
you.
stuff. I mean, that's awesome. Hey, entrepreneur right there. Entrepreneur.
Yes, I love it. Like, and I want it, Tyrik, I've been wanting that thing to grow like that, and it has been like, and it goes to show you slowly but surely, you don't have to even post and share it every day. If you've got content out there that people can relate to and they stumble across that, people are just going to click on it and get it. That's just, especially if they feel like it resonates with them. And that's the key to anything you do. If you feel like something resonates with other people and you create something that they can relate to, oh, they're going to come for it. You don't even have to run behind them. And that's what's happening with my Settle Free Academy. So ladies, if you out there, the Settle Free Academy, it's been marked down to a reasonable price. Go click on that and purchase it.
All right. I love it. Okay. Love it. Yes. Awesome. So first, I kind of want to go down a little line, kind of like a little chain, if you know what I'm saying. So first, how do you even first of all, how do you even get a date? Like, how do you even meet somebody? If you see somebody you think is cute, how you go up and talk to them, what are you supposed to do?
All right, so we're talking like in person right now, right? With everything with the mask on, it's a little different. But say for instance, things were different, and we were in person. Well, for ladies, this is what you would do. You would make yourself presentable to show that you are flirting with that guy. If you find somebody that he's handsome, or he seems to be your type, you don't want to walk around with what I call the angry bee face. When you walk around like, don't speak to me, type of face. You want to have a face of Good to do. I'm cute. I see him looking. Okay, you're looking at me. Okay, what's up? Hi, you're looking at me. Need some help with those potatoes? You kind of like have to flirt a little bit and be girly and be the woman you are, and just show him that you are a little interested in him. Be inviting. If you're inviting, the guy will see that and go, oh, okay, she seems like she's kind of warm spirited. I can talk to her. If you come across as mean, I mean, he still may try to approach you because guys like a challenge. Don't you, Tyrik, y'all guys like a challenge? He still may approach you, but if you're looking for an opportunity to possibly date, you have to put yourself out there as presentable and interested, because
Okay.
men don't like rejection. So if you show
right.
a sign of not interested, he's going to be too nervous to come over there. But if you show a sign of, come on over, I'll talk to you, he may go ahead and approach you.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned challenge and how guys like a challenge. Me, listen, if you a girl, please just make it easy on me. Just make it easy. I just want you to make it easy. So that way it could be easy on my part. I ain't trying to go through all the hard stuff. Just make
all the rigmarole of dating. It could be a challenge. My screen keeps going dark. Am I still looking light to you though?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because it's like looking dark for some reason.
Okay. Yeah. Looks good. So, okay. So when you get to that point, you done met the person. Okay, I want to take this. I want this person. I want to go out on a date with this person. Then what's next? Especially during the times of COVID, and I've heard about virtual dating and stuff. Is that a real thing? Is it a thing?
Yeah. So, I'm so glad you should say that. So everybody who's on here, I'm Tinsley Bradford. If you click on Tinsley B and you click the link in my bio, I actually wrote a post about a virtual date that I did. So, look, I see Casey Pride. I like him. I met him a long time ago. Hey, I'm Casey Pride. Good to see you on here. But I wrote a post about a virtual date. Me and the guy went on a virtual date. I got dressed up looking extra cute, went to my kitchen. We made plans to make fish tacos together. Like he went and got his ingredients. I went and got my ingredients. We had whatever we wanted to drink. Like I got wine. He had his favorite brew. We FaceTime as we cooked. So it was like, okay, so we did everything at the same time. The raw fish, clean it, whatever you have to do, season it, get your sides and all that stuff. Make sure you have the right kind of pita wrap bread and all that stuff. And we did all of that. And we were able to just kind of like each step along the way do it. And then we start seasoning the meat together. That was kind of a moment where it was like, ooh, seasoning your meat. I'm seasoning my meat. You seasoning your meat. Ooh, let's season my meat. And then we put it in the oven together, I mean, you see what I'm saying, y'all? You got to be a little flirty.
Yeah.
Let's season our meat together. Be very fun. We had a good time, and we actually went on another virtual date like some weeks later after that. So it just shows you can be creative while the pandemic is going on. You can still do things virtually and make it a moment. We laughed, we got to know each other, we talked to each other. It was quite fun. It really was. It was quite fun.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, and I'm glad you actually mentioned that because like I said, I've heard of the virtual dating thing, but I ain't really think like it was a real thing or people were doing it. But it seems like that you actually did it. You experienced it. You said it went well, and y'all was seasoning and stuff. So I mean, y'all had a good day.
And look, I can also say it's something that you can recommend. You don't have to be afraid to do it in a formal way. And what I mean by that is you can shoot an email and say, hey, what's your email address? And then they say, oh, this is my email address. You can shoot an email and say, hey, you want to do something cool? What? Let's try to see if we can go out and chat and get to know each other. Want to make some dinner together one day or make some pasta together one day? I think our second dish that we made on the second date was an Alfredo, like a chicken Alfredo pasta. So that was really good to try something different. So you definitely can flirt online and find ways to be creative during the pandemic, so that you can still get to know the person, not make it all boring. It doesn't have to look like a Zoom call. You make it fun and exciting around the house, so that's what we did. And it was extremely fun.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Yeah. I love that. I think that's a great idea. And you can do it safely. I mean, that's perfect right there.
Yes.
So I want to, cause I'm not, I want to talk cause I have a young audience, most of my followers are my age and stuff. We do stuff differently. I don't know why we do stuff differently.
I know.
Personally, I like the traditional way of doing things, but apparently my generation doesn't operate like that. So why do you think we're so different?
Well, there's a different type of influence out there. And a lot of the young people have a choice and a decision about what kind of influence they're going to follow and whose influence they're going to let be their influence. And it's a lot of good influence out there, but it's totally different than the traditional influence. My daughter is very young. She's 27, 26, something like that. And she made a comment to me one day where she talked about how, Ma, you got to do it different. You got to play games now. You have to play these games. And she was serious. She was telling me in order to date successfully, I have to play games now. I have to play the same kind of game as the guy. I have to act like I'm not interested. I have to be nonchalant and dry. I have to be unapproachable. I have to be, uninterested and unbothered, as they say it. And, I do understand that you don't want to come across as a bugaboo. I get that part. But what you don't want to do either is if you're trying to meet a good person and meet a special someone, that you don't want to come across as someone that's not approachable and someone's not going to be interested in. And so even for you young people, I don't know how serious you are about trying to date and really get to know somebody. But if you're really serious about that thing and you really, really like that person, you got to do more than just play games. You're going to have to make it your business to find the person you're interested in, show them that you're interested through your action. And that doesn't necessarily mean going to pay for everything and paying bills and buying food for them and all of this. What it means is just being consistent with your actions and make sure those actions are evolving into something else. And when I say that, I can be consistent every day and text you every morning. Good morning, Tyrik. Good morning, Tyrik. Good morning, Tyrik. But where is that going?
Yeah.
What I mean by going somewhere, I mean by being consistent in your actions and then turn around and say, well, good morning, Tyrik. How are you? And then maybe a week later, I may come back and say, hey, I was thinking that maybe we can catch up on so-and-so. Do you want to hang out later? And then I say, oh, you know what? I got this thing I'm going to. Do you want to do this? Like plan to do something to make the relationship or friendship, whatever it may be, grow. And I think a lot of people don't do that anymore. Everybody's busy trying to be seen and doing all this stuff, and they don't want to take relationships seriously. So another tip that I'm going to say, be very intentional. I know you all are young, and if you don't want to be in a serious long-term relationship, don't act like you do. Don't pursue that. Don't have this fairy tale mindset that, oh, I'm looking at TV and seeing all these couples together and I want to be in this relationship too. If you're not ready for it, because what you're doing is what they say called playing games, causing confusion. You can break somebody's heart, because some people are very intentional and serious about dating and they want it to grow, really far. And if you're not really on the same level or interested in dating like them, then you shouldn't mess with them. You shouldn't even I call it disturbing a person's peace. Yeah. You're disrupting my peace. I was doing fine and you came along and pretended like you was interested, but you really wasn't. Now my peace has been disrupted and you ain't even doing nothing. We're not even doing anything now. What was the point of that?
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, for me, like I said, I'm different. Like, I'm a different apple in the bunch. I don't like playing the games. Like, you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. Like, just
Tyrik, we can tell you're different. You're definitely extraordinary. And a rare find, y'all need to take Tyrik's dating advice. He is not about the game playing, and that's exactly how it needs to be. Nobody got time for that right now. We all trying to survive out here in this world.
Exactly. It's like the games. It's like, I don't want to play the games. I'm a straight up kind of person. I'm just straight up. Like, it's either this or it's not this. I mean, let's just be straight up with each other. I mean,
right.
If we're like mature people, then let's just be mature about it. Enough with the games and stuff. Let's just be real.
Right. And there's a lot of comparison too. A lot of people are not feeling good. I actually ran into a lady who later disclosed that she was a exotic dancer. She called it a stripper, but I like to kind of upgrade it a little bit, exotic dancer. And she talked about, when she was giving me insight on her background, matter of fact, I plan on having her on my handle one day, because her backstory of being a stripper was very, very interesting to me, with what they go through and how some of them are pretty much being, she said it like this, pimped, in the strip joints. But she talked about how she doesn't do a lot of dancing in front of guys. I said, well, you're an exotic dancer, right? She said, yeah, but you'll be surprised at how many people come in there with all this surgery and all of this body enhancements, and I don't have that, and I feel like my body isn't good enough. And I want to tell you, she's a very pretty lady, she's very attractive, but even she didn't feel good enough, because there's so much comparison these days. So I think for the younger generation, she's young too, she's like 25, there's a lot of comparison. So I think sometimes when you're trying to get in the dating world, a lot of women don't feel good enough, because you're looking at this next person who went and got the surgery, or this person who's got, maybe more money than you, and they have all this going on, or they're flossing on their IG page like they got it going on. You don't feel you're comparing to that. You don't feel you're good enough. And that's what a lot of the entertainment world makes you feel. A lot of the people in the entertainment world, they want to make you feel like you have to have a certain status quo. You have to be a certain kind of way to be accepted. You have to be pretty. You have to have this beautiful, perfect body. You have to have this flat stomach. Do you know how many men with pot bellies are walking around here telling me I need to have a flat stomach?
Yeah, it's a lot of them. yeah, it's a lot. So,
Yes.
and
And
oh yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was just going to say, it's
Okay.
just amazing the pressure that a lot of women are under to feel beautiful when they don't feel good enough because online and IG and, you know, the entertainment business and all of the social media, all of this makes you feel not good enough. The comparison to who you really are. And that's why you want to meet somebody who genuinely likes you for you, not someone who's looking at you and then when they see someone they think looks better, they running off to the next thing that they feel is better than you type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that you mentioned like the enhancements and all that stuff. I'm gonna be honest, like for me, I may not be a woman or, I may not be able to, at least, well, I can still say it, but of course, for me, like what I think is, I think that like a lot of women actually doubt their beauty, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to tell you that I think that you have to live, yourself.
You be
You have to
yourself.
be you, express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, as a man, I can just tell you, men are like, or at least for me, I don't know about the other men, but at least for me, I'm not a fan of the waving eyelashes and the real long nails sticking all the way out to here. I like the nice, yeah. I don't want the claws and stuff. Yeah, I don't want you clawing me in the chest and all that. I just want the nice simple, nice hair girl, not the green hair and all that
Right.
stuff.
And let me
Yeah,
tell you, let me comment on that. I think a lot of women, and it's so funny you should say that, when you see a lot of women doing their, what they consider everyday photos, you'll see them with their average looks. You'll see them without the enhancements. You'll see them without the extensions. You'll see them with, oh, look, my natural hair, or either a different, more conservative hairstyle. But then when they go all out, then they do the color, they do the extra, they do the eyelashes and
yeah,
stuff. And you want to know why? Because that's what they believe is selling in society today. That's what's selling in entertainment. That's what's selling online. You got men dressing up like that now, making tons of money to have this colorful hair, eyelashes, enhancements, and all of this. And so that's what's popping right now. So because that's popping, that's the direction that a lot of women are going in. They feel like they have to. Nardo said, "Me either." He doesn't like the whole eyelashes waving. Well, Jeremy, I'm so glad I didn't put mine on. I started to put on mine today to get on the IG. I'm gonna put on my lashes. You guys are saying you didn't like them, so I'm glad I
no, no,
didn't
no.
put them on.
I'll see. I actually I like the lashes, but I don't like the lashes when they're 3 feet long. Like,
When they're like snuffleupagus, like
yeah,
a snuffleupagus, yeah. But yeah, so that's why I think a lot of comparison is out there, and people feel like they have to go above and beyond and do extra to stand out and to be someone that's worth keeping, in the eyes of society, and also whatever guy in women's case that they may be trying to date.
yeah, absolutely. And I want to ask you. So you got two individuals. Let's say we're talking. We've been talking for a while. How long when we're talking? How long should the first date be before when we meet each other? And we're talking, and then when should that first date be?
Oh my goodness, it's never really a timeline because the virtual date that I did is hey, there's Tony Benton Jr. on there.
Yeah.
Hello, Tony.
No.
So the first date, so the first for the virtual date, the first online date I did, we just did it. We actually met each other in an online portal. We were like in the same training course together online. We did that a few times. We chatted a few times. We saw that we had like a similar interest in that training portal, and we talked about it then, and then we actually went behind in the DMs of the thing. You know how you go on a little private chats and was, oh,
Yeah.
you kind of nice. I like what I see. What are you doing? Blah, 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 whatever. And then we made plans. He said, well, can you send me your email address? I'll send you mine. I said, yeah. And then we emailed each other a little bit. And then I said, you know what? I think we should try something different. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I think we should try to do something like an online, chat or date or something. So we planned an online date, via email. And it was right away. It was like we had only seen each other and met each other in 2 or 3 classes, like online trainings, because all of this was done during the pandemic. So that's how the dates happen. But just to give you my real analysis, well, that is my real analysis. But if you're doing it face to face and you're trying to go out on a date or something like that, then there's really, to me, it's really no time limit if you kind of know the person a little bit. Let's just say talk to them to really get to know them. So if it's someone new, I'm gonna give you an example. I've never met you a day in my life, and I'm not going to date you, Tyrik. But I'm going to give you an example. No, say for instance, I wanted to date you. I could simply ask you, could me and you go out? You want to know why? Because we built rapport. I've
Yeah.
met you before when we covered an event together somewhere. We've been online in certain forums together. We've done things similar together. So I can totally ask you and you can ask me and I would feel comfortable. Now, if I've never met you, I just see you online here and there. We've never talked. We don't have any rapport or trust being built. There's no connection there. I don't even know you. I would say get to know that person for at least a good month, 2 weeks to a month before you say, let's go on a date, because you want to see who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that that person is someone that's not some nutcase trying to, get in on your private life, and learn more about you, because there are some predators out there who will try to prey on your vulnerability at this time. So I would say give people who you don't know that well time, and people who you kind of know of and you trust and feel like you kind of know a little bit through online sources, if you all have mutual friends together, or you've been liking each other's posts or engaging each other's posts for a while. Now you're ready to kind of take it a step up and maybe go on a date. It's okay to just randomly ask them, because you probably see them and you feel like you can trust them. But once again, if you don't hardly know the person, you need to talk over time. Take that relationship and conversation offline, get behind the scenes and talk, text each other, email each other, call, and then eventually maybe do some video chatting so you can kind of pick up on the person's energy over the phone and what you're dealing with, and if it's the real person, so you won't get catfished and all that stuff. You don't want to do that.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Yeah. Nice. And I gotta ask you. So I'm a guy, and you're a female. So I want to know, when you're as a female, how do you prefer to be approached and asked out? What should a man do? Like, how does he woo you? Like, how do men woo a woman?
Wow, I just like a man to just be honest and say, I've been looking at you. I think you're very pretty or very beautiful. I like the word beautiful better than, hey, sexy. I don't like that sexy thing. I don't hate it, but I feel like that word sexy in itself is saying exactly where his mind at. Ooh, she's sexy. What else is there? What other thoughts are you having? But if you say beautiful, you can message me and say, I think you're very pretty or attractive, or I like your style. I would love to know more about you. What is your name? Just the old school, what is your name? Ask me my name, for crying out loud. Ask me my name. Ask me if you can get to know me. Give me time to say, yeah, I would like that too. And then we can start exchanging information after that. I think people just kind of come up to you now with this aggressive approach. And sometimes you feel like you're backed against the wall and almost forced to do what they say, like you're being ambushed, instead of them coming to you in a respectful, professional, cordial way, just saying, hello, my name is Joe. I think you're very nice looking. I like your style. I would like to get to know you. Would you like to do that? And I can say, yeah, I think so. And we can kind of go from there. That's my favorite approach. Just genuine, warm, removing any kind of sexual desires from the conversation, and then just approaching me in that kind of way.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's good. I definitely agree with that, because you got some dudes, like, I've seen it. You got some dudes out there who will walk up to be like, "Hey, sweet thing, you wanna go?" You know what I'm saying? It's like really, like come on now. It's like, let's do it the right way. But
right.
Yeah. So,
That's too funny. Yes, I agree with you on that. And that right there is something I've had guys approach me like that. And then when I get a little defensive, or I tell them I don't like the way you approach me, then now I'm some bougie, stuck-up woman or whatever, when really I just wanted to feel value. I tell people, and I know people probably get tired of it, but I don't care if they get tired of it. You can always compare your relationships, the way you do things in relationships and building friendships, as you do when you're trying to get a job, or get your manager's attention. Would you talk to your manager like that, or your potential boss? Hey, yo, are you gonna interview me for this job or what, homie? Is that how you would talk to your potential manager at a company that you're trying to get a job? And then if you're following up for a resume or an interview, are you gonna follow up? Yo, ain't heard back from you. What's up? What you doing? What you doing over there? You have to think about the way you would talk to them. Kind of like be respectful to the person that you're interested in. Because keep in mind, I'm gonna be looking at you like, okay, so this is the type of personality I'm going to be dealing with. Do I want to deal with someone with this kind of personality, or not? So.
Yeah. First approach is everything.
Oh my goodness, it's totally everything.
It
totally is everything. And so I want everybody to know that one of my positions as a settle-free dating coach is, I had some woman a long time ago, it was so funny. She thought my settle-free means I don't never want to settle down. I had to explain to her what I meant. And I never knew that it could be taken that way. I said, wait a minute. I didn't know that some people would think I meant settle free, like not settling down, never settling down in life, just walking around throughout the world, never settling down. And that's the way she thought I was saying. She said, why don't you ever want to settle down? I said, I think you're kind of missing the point. What I meant was settle free, meaning I'm free from settling for less than I deserve. And I want other people to do the same thing. One of the most hardest things to do is evaluate your current relationship and be honest about what's going on in it. You know, either it's good and it's roses and it's fun and it's nice, or it's horrific and you're not having the best time, or there's room for improvement in the middle. And you have to ask yourself, am I happy in this situation? And if not, you have to evaluate with yourself and your mate why you're not happy. What are you missing? Did you rush into that relationship for all the wrong reasons? Is that person fulfilling you? Are you in that because the person got pregnant? Or are you in that because your mom is pressuring you to be in a relationship to get married? Are you in it because she's pretty and that's it? Are you in it because he's handsome with a nice car and that's it? Are you in it because she's a boss bitch or whatever they want to call it, you know, and she got it going on and you're interested in that? You have got to make sure that you are dating for the right reason and that you're with the right person. And so, Tyrik, when you talk about the timeline, once you go on that date, the next step is to start making sure that if you're interested in that person, those qualities that you're starting to see, that we all know start to come out when you start getting to know people, you guys are going to start seeing things about them that you didn't know existed. You're going to start seeing habits you didn't know existed. And you're going to have to ask yourself, am I interested in this person enough to be dealing with this for like the rest of my life? Because if you start getting serious and making that relationship exclusive to each other, now you're with this person. And you have to ask yourself, am I going to be able to do this? Like,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he snores like a freaking tiger, you know, like, or, oh, his breath smells horrible. Or, oh my gosh, she has this song, you know, these habits that we're seeing, because I have to say that you see those signs now. When you're dating, you see those signs, you see those things. If you slept over each other's house or whatever, you hear that snoring, you know, and if you've been close enough to kiss, you smell that bad breath or whatever. Yeah. Are you going to be able to deal with that? I have to ask, are you going to be able to deal with that? You know, so and it's not that you're judging them, it's that you're being honest with yourself. Are you going to be able to do it? And if you're okay with the snoring, fine. Put some earplugs in at night and call it a night, you know, and be okay with the snoring. You know, if you're okay with the bad breath, maybe make some suggestions for a dental or a hygienist and move on with life because you like the person that much, you know. But if you're not okay with those things, right, you know, if you're not okay with those things, you have to be honest about it. And I think a lot of people, they don't want to be honest about where they are, what's going on in relationships, because they feel like you're going to be judging them. And that's another thing I want people to know. My settle-free dating is not to judge anyone. It's not, because look, I'm still single. I'm not some woman that's in this perfect relationship, a perfect love affair, but I know why I'm not in that, because I refuse to deal with things I'm not happy with. I refuse to deal with things and situations and people that's not a good fit for me. And I don't want anyone else to do the same thing that I've done, because in the past, I've dealt with those things I knew weren't a good fit for me. I've allowed those things I knew were not meant for me. I forced relationships I knew I shouldn't have. I dealt with crap from guys I know I shouldn't have. And had I not done that, you know, a lot of my past experiences probably would have been better, you know, for me. But I wanted what I wanted. I didn't pay attention to important signs, and I moved forward in situations that I probably shouldn't have. And thank goodness I never ended up in any kind of violent or abusive relationship. But there was a lot of mental and physical, not physical, but mental and emotional abuse in some of those relationships I was in. And that's another thing. When you're dating someone, are they making you feel like you have to walk on eggshells? You can't be yourself around them. You can't express yourself. You can't talk without everything being up for debate. You're made to feel like you're not good enough in that relationship. You're being compared to other people. All of that is so important to consider when you're thinking about taking that relationship or that dating to the next level.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. You know, you definitely made some good points, you know, especially you have to know, like, you have to, and when you're dating and you're in a relationship, you have to put yourself in certain situations to see if you can deal with certain things. Like you said, the snoring, you know, put the earplugs in, you know, your bad breath, pop a few mints in your mouth, you know, I mean, hey, you gotta definitely figure out if you can deal with that certain stuff. So yeah, you definitely made some good points there. And we're gonna close it out in just a second. But before we go, I gotta ask you. So, ideal first date, and before you answer that, actually, so this is what happened to me. So I had this girl, right, We had planned to go out somewhere or whatever. And then she asked me to go to Chops. If you know Chops, Chops is one of the most expensive steak places in the city. Like,
I heard of Chopped. I don't think I've ever been there, but I heard of it.
yeah, and so I'm like, I don't even know you like that, and you already want to go like that. Like, you just already giving me that gold digger type status that you want everything expensive and stuff and and I'm all, and don't get me wrong, I'm all about the lavish lifestyle and the luxury and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like the first date, like, really? Like, come on now.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out what is a good ideal first date, because for me, like, I'm okay with the, go to dinner, sit down, but I also like to have fun. So like bowling is cool with me, maybe going out doing something like some mini golf or something like that. Like, all that stuff is like, I like to do stuff like that.
Right. And so that's part of the conversation. So when you definitely, how can I put it? When you are planning and wanting to plan a date with someone, you have to make sure that you're on the same page and both of you are aligned with what you may be planning, because you may like to go skating and that person may not like skating. So you have to make sure that that's already been talked about. You may like playing putt golf and that person may not like that. So you have to make sure that was another thing. Those are signs you're looking at, because now you're starting to evaluate the person. You're like, okay, I've suggested 2 things and she don't like it. So I don't even know if I like this girl, because I want somebody that likes things like that too, So, but I would say, as far as the price, it depends on how much you like her, because a man that really likes a woman, he's going to do that. He's going to spend that money because he wants to impress her. It may be a loss. He may take a loss. He may take an L, but he really wants to impress her. So he's going to do that. Now, the next step is watching her behavior after that. If she seems to have this, I'm using him for that chops and I'm done, not to go any further, because she's already shown you who she is. But if you really like her, I wouldn't put a dollar tag on, a price tag on a first date. You take her where you want to take her. You guys have a conversation. If you want to go somewhere to like a paint and sip and do some wine together, paint a piece of work together, that's always a fun thing, because now you can kind of like have bragging rights about whose piece looks best. Oh, I draw better than you. I'm better than you. And then after that, you can go to like a little restaurant somewhere and eat together. Now, if it's in your budget to take her to Chops or somewhere like that, and you want to impress her, you go, hey, I want to take you here to this restaurant. It's one of my favorite places. Don't even mention price. Just take her there and prepare for that $500 steak or whatever. And go ahead and just bite the bullet. But now you're seeing how she is, because now you're going, okay, I did this for her. And then a day or two later, you feel like dry energy, conversation's different, things are changing in the relationship. You're like, wow, she's tripping. I spent that $90 on that darn steak meal and she's tripping. But it shows you some things that's important to you. It may have been a one-time loss, but it's okay. So I would say a nice restaurant. Okay. If it's not in your budget to take her to Chops, don't take her. You can't afford it. You got to take her where you can afford it. Find some nice restaurant that you really like, and take her there. If you want to do something active, you can probably, there's a ball place that would you drive in like go-karts, but you're like, I forgot what you call it, but you're like trying to get the ball in. Hey, Tay Charm. You're trying to get the ball in, hoop a ball or something like that. You're driving in go-karts, but it's a team. You play with each other, and then you can drive. You're trying to get the ball in the thing from the car. I've gone there before. It was very fun. So you can maybe look up some things like go-kart driving, ball playing. You can do, like I said, the sip and paint. You can try to do, so that's 3 things. A nice restaurant, the go-kart ball thing. You can try bowling if they're liking bowling. You can also try skating if they like it. But once again, those are conversations you have to have prior to see if they like activities like that. And also, let me just say, go online in your city and say things to do in the city for a first date. You'll be surprised how much information is compiled online with just suggestions alone to make a first date a success.
Okay. Yeah. And you mentioned the paint and sip. My paint and sipping days haven't started yet because I ain't 21 yet. But when I do turn 21, I'm gonna have to have some paint sipping dates. So
well, hey, you can always paint and sip on some Kool-Aid. You don't have to have the wine.
You can definitely sip on that Kool-Aid, no doubt.
Yes, you can do that. You can definitely make it about what you can have at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, I really appreciate you taking time to come on Tyrik Wynn Live. We had a great conversation.
We did.
Talking about all things dating and stuff. And so, hey, you taught me a lot. You taught the audience a lot. So I hope the audience was informed and intrigued and stuff. And so,
yes.
Now when I go out, know what to do, know how I'm gonna walk up, to such and such and be like, hey, what's up? You what I'm saying? Like, I know what to do now.
Yes. Hey, Talk to Q, you joined too late. We're getting ready to get off now, but thank you for joining, honey. One more time, y'all, for the book, The Settle-Free Dating Method for
Yes, the
Women. Go
book.
to Amazon and get it if you're interested in those dating tips. Also, my Settle-Free Academy is live. Please go click on it, ladies. If you're looking for ways to be self-paced and make sure you self-evaluate yourself before jumping in the wrong relationship or staying in the wrong relationship, you want to go and get that academy now while the price is low. Thank you so much, Tyrik, for having me on. I had the best time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And hey, you know some other guests out there who want to hop on this Tyrik Win Live, you know, let me know. Those of y'all who are in the audience, y'all know some people who want to hop on Tyrik Win Live. If y'all want to hop on Tyrik Win Live, just shoot me a DM. We always having raw, authentic conversations about pretty much any and everything. So yeah, so I appreciate you joining me, and I will see y'all next time.
See you. Congratulations on the billboard, too, by the
Oh,
way.
thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, let me tell you, when they had did the bill, like when they had did the billboard for me, I was
In
ecstatic.
tears, right? You probably was in
Thank
tears.
God. I was,
Oh,
yeah, it was an emotional moment. And you know, my parents, we had went to go look at it together. It was, yeah, it was a great moment. So I thank God for it.
well, good, good. Oh, you deserve it.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, you have a good evening and thanks for having me
You
on.
too, of course. And
Bye,
thank you for the
everybody.
viewers for watching. I appreciate it. See y'all next time.
Thanks for watching, y'all.